Allow your leaders to do it. Hold on. Hold on.
The presidency is Agara. I am the PDP senatorial candidate Bayelsa East. The essence of this process is that in my own constituency, as a senatorial candidate, no material came to my community for me to cast my vote. And when I asked all the constituency in my area, constituency 3, no material came. Everybody was waiting, and the initial arrangement was that voting material will move to the ward rack center. In my ward rack center, no material. So, and now we have seen that APC have submitted the result of 41,000 votes for the senatorial candidate of APC and the House of Reps APC. Now they have declared with that fake result. Normally, results were collated at the local government headquarters. No result in my 7th ward, because there was no election. Results were not collated for the 7th ward. But the APC Sol ward carry result, prepare result straight to our senatorial headquarters, Brass. And when they asked the DCP that was there, when they asked where is the result, they bring a booklet of result. Results were not supposed to be in a booklet because every SPO that distribute material, all these result sheets were distributed to the various units, but now you can see that it is in a booklet. That means there was no election in any place. If not, they will collate the result at the local government headquarters before proceeding to the senatorial headquarters. At the senatorial headquarters, the military man there, the commander, forced that he has become INEC staff, that forced that the result should be collated. Even when the returning officer and the collation officer refused to accept the result, they now chase away all our PDP agents, the SPOs, everybody chased away, and now they enter those results against PDP.
Thank you. Let's interview next person.
Our demand, therefore, the election of the results of the 7 wards in constituency 2 and 3 of Nimbe local government should be cancelled because there was no election. So that is our demand.
Okay, give to Jonathan after him.
Please just give him space.
Yes. Well, I am the DG of the senatorial district. Secondly, I was the agent for the senatorial election. Now, I am Honorable Jonathan Robinson Obuebite. On that day, we had a smooth election in Nembe constituency 1, and you can see the results. Everybody participated, all the political parties. But before that day, in the evening of Friday, the people of APC started shooting in Basambri. From 9 p.m., they started shooting till the next morning, backed by some security agencies that were there in Basambri. When that happened, obviously, they did not take the materials that were to go to the different racks. They now took all the materials. They took all the materials to one point. And at that point, where they took the materials to a particular hotel, the owner of that hotel is Darius Obiene. They took all the SPOs, all the returning officers, forced them to write election results. There was no result, there was no election in Nembe constituency 2 and Nembe constituency 3. After which, the collation officer for the local government, Dr. Mrs. Dagogo Brown, she was in Nembe. She collated for constituency 1 all the 6 wards. And after collating, the military men came there and told her that they want to escort her to Ambras, and selected some of us who are the agents of the party to go with them. We all went to Brass. When we go to Brass, to our greatest surprise, we saw results that were brought from the 7 wards to be collated there. And the woman said no, our collation point is Nembe local government. All she has come to do is to come and submit the results. It was at that point they now said, okay, let us find a soft ground for everybody. The deputy commissioner of police, who is the head there, invited all the parties, and we agreed that the woman said she's not collating and that we should all come back to Yenegua so that the INEC office will decide. We were in Yenegua, we were there, we went to the waterfront in Brass. When we boarded our boats, including the gun boats, it was at that point the military person, major, came and said he has a contrary directive that these materials will not leave. All the materials and officials loaded in the boat. At that point, they ensured that they called the APC people to come down, and the APC members that came down there molested, beat up the deputy commissioner of police, tore all his clothes, and you can see all the evidence on social media. What we are demanding is this: 1, there was no election in Nembe constituency 2 and Nembe constituency 3. 2, there was no collation at the local government headquarters. Therefore, the said declaration of the candidate of APC as elected for House of Reps be cancelled, and the entire process be cancelled for Nembe constituency 2 and Nembe constituency 3. Our people are willing to go back and vote, but INEC must not accept that declaration that has been done by the collation officer that was kidnapped. I was also kidnapped. I was also held hostage. Till today, I only know how God rescued me from that place. I was the person that was their target, and as God will have it, that night we were able to travel back without them knowing, and everybody was taken back to Nembe. So we don't know how come without agents they did collation and declared the result. Thank you.
Marie Ebikake, PDP candidate for Brass Nembe constituency. Precisely on the 23rd of February we had a peaceful election in Brass local government. Brass local government became one of the most peaceful local governments during 23rd February election. Surprisingly, on Sunday 24th, we got an information that results were coming from Obunembe, which has 7 wards. We knew, all of us know, that there was no election in Obunembe, and we thought it was a joke. For Christ's sake, it was former APC secretary that came with the results. In any electoral process, a party official has no right to come with results. And here we saw APC former secretary Mr. Mali, who came with the 7 results. We stopped the collation of the results. Besides that, we had protested on the 23rd in Oluwasiri, Agrisaba, Okoroba, Ikesi, that there were no materials. So how come you are bringing results? So we protested, and before we knew what was happening, Major what's his name? Major Modibo came, and today what we saw on all this online video and so on, that the DCP was maltreated, it was originated by Major Modibo. So please, we want Obunembe, the 7 wards result to be cancelled. They cannot come and tell us that. They brought a result for 41,000 votes. It's unacceptable by us. Thank you.
The election of Southern Niger, the army in connival with the APC do away with the collation officers. While elections were conducted peacefully in Ward 12, results are with the presiding officers. The collation officer ran away, only to come back to INEC at Inagua and presented a collated result without the presiding officer's input into his collation sheet, and just submitted result to INEC, and they accepted it. It is uncalled for. Again, the collation officer for Ward 14, Ward 15, and Ward 16 were all in Ogbimbri, where they went and doctored results even after votes were cast in the localities, and the results are with the presiding officers, and they came to only submit collated results without the presiding officer's input. I wonder where results will come, the unit results. If the unit results are not presented to the collation officer, where was he able to bring or manufacture results and they have to accept it? Some of the results, like those of Ward 15, the Azama community materials were scattered, and then the material for Kemebiama went under the water. But they have result for Kemebiama, they have result for Azama. That is to tell you that the situation was not the way they have presented it, because you cannot exhume even results that were thrown into the river. Materials that were thrown into the river, you have results. Materials that were scattered, you have results. That means you have violated, you have outrightly violated the electoral practice. And so we are calling for cancellation. Is that our prayer? Yeah! Calling for cancellation of those results. For Ward 4, there was no election. That is because the two sides could not understand themselves. These materials were taken to the police station only to come back the following day for voting. But the APC went in the midnight, collected those results in the cover of the military and voted for themselves. They went to somewhere and voted those results and came out to collate for the APC. How can that be? This is democracy. This is a civilian regime. We ought not to have militarized it and abuse also the process. It's an abuse of democracy, and it ought not to be so. Because Buhari also said, anybody who is found snatching ballot papers should be killed. Why will they exist then if they have snatched ballot papers? And so we are saying that those results they have concocted for Ward 4, Ward 14, Ward 15, Ward 16 be cancelled for Southern Niger. Thank you very much.
Pass like this.
And I'm the chairman of PDP Bayelsa State. We know that the electioneering process is on, but there you see a mammoth crowd of my party members who have come on a peaceful demonstration to present our position to INEC in the state for the things that we have observed within the period that our party can never take. This is democracy, and in course of these elections in the last couple of days, we have been told and we know that in Nembe local government area, precisely Basambri, elections didn't hold. Materials were carted away, aided by military people. And suddenly, it is all over the place that these people have been kidnapped and nothing has happened. And we hear that they have concocted results and have brought them for collation, which is not acceptable, and my party cannot take it. Number two, in Southern Niger, constituency 4, Ward 4, Ward 14, Ward 15, Ward 16, Ward 12, Ward 12. Materials and results were carted away to a specific destination, Ogboimbiri precisely, and these results were collated and have been brought for collation. Our party cannot watch to see that happen, and that is why we have come to present to you, INEC in Bayelsa State, that those results that have been falsified, that have been brought for collation, that collation should cease. That collation should not take place. Why? Democracy is where people are freely given opportunity to express their will, and you cannot subvert the will of the people by taking election materials to separate destinations and collate results. And beyond that, you are INEC, but let us present to you. There are so many things that have happened within the period. At Owoikora, our party members were shot dead. 2 of them, even in a place in their own houses during this exercise. We cannot take it. In Basambri, our House of Assembly candidate was assaulted. The whole of our cars and our house was shot, and so many things were destroyed. Most of the community, I've said so. In Owoikora, our party members were killed. We cannot sit down and watch an electionary process be taken over by military agencies. Election in process is meant to be protected by military people. Where we see military aiding APC to subvert the will of our people against PDP cannot be accepted by our party in this state. We feel that we should come as modern people, as civilized people, to peacefully make our presentation to you, so that you people will know that we have come to say that we will not accept the collation of those. And the reason for us to be tying black band is because we are consoling with our party members that were killed by military people in this electionary process in the last 2 days. That is our case. And if there is anything I've left out, the Secretary to Government is here, the Speaker is here, Izagara, Senator. Cancel those results that have been falsified. You will know by today that even yesterday, a police officer of high ranking in Brass was molested. All his clothes were torn and the evidences are there. That is what people are suffering in Brass, in Southern Niger, in Nembe, and our party cannot watch to see that happen. We are not cowards. It is not to mean that we cannot match them, God for God, but that is not our training, and we feel that we should peacefully come and make our case known to INEC. We will not accept or tolerate the collation of those results. I repeat, Southern Niger, constituency 4, Ward 4, Ward 14, Ward 15, Ward 16, and Ward 12. And Nembe, Basambri precisely. Thank you and God bless you. And thank you for even coming out to address us.
Thank you very much. First and foremost,
Move back a little, please.
my name is Lebari Samson Ndu. the Administrative Secretary of INEC. First, I apologize for the absence of my resident electoral commissioner. He suddenly took ill and even left the collation center. And he called me to stand in for him. That's why I'm here. First, we want to thank you for the peaceful manner you have handled these protests. We extend our sincere condolences for the loss of your members. We want to address the issues in this way. First, there are procedures INEC adopts, and we gave the guidelines to all our collation officers. First and foremost, there are guidelines for accepting results. One of the guidelines is this: the policy of the Commission concerning 2019 general elections is no result will be accepted except it is card reader compliant. That's one. No result will be accepted except it is with card reader compliant. That is, the figures must be attested from the card reader before it is now put on the result sheet. That's one. Two, INEC has a policy. Anywhere there is violence that the police and other security agencies could not control, that result is automatically cancelled. There are three processes under which INEC cancels results. One, the presiding officer, whose materials and everything was snatched, will write a report to the electoral officer, who will transmit that report to the resident electoral commissioner, who in turn will transmit it to Abuja and give the collation officers. Once it is satisfied that they have not met the guidelines, that result will not be accepted. Let me also inform you that yesterday there were areas where card reader didn't function, and as a commission, with due consultation with our national office, we went to those places to go and conduct elections as the law provides. I want to assure you, INEC Bayelsa State is a law-abiding institution, a body corporate that can sue and be sued. And so we are not ready as a team, and our Abuja office is aware of every decision that we take here. I am in charge of INEC situation room as the administrative secretary, and I report every single incident that happens to the chairman directly. As I leave here, I'm going to escalate this report to the chairman, and I'm sure he will give his directive on the next step to take. Meanwhile, there are some reports from presiding officers in some of the words you are talking about. We are processing it as a late office. I have limited it to the electoral officer in charge of those local governments, and I've asked them to escalate it to the collation officer in line with our guidelines. It is only when that is done and INEC has come to announce their result officially, that is when you will know whether what we have done is in line with principles and guidelines concerning this election or not.
Yes, I have a question for you.
If you don't want me to talk, I shouldn't have been here. I am here because I'm also concerned. Lives have been lost. My EOs, my staff were also held hostage. I knew what the military high command and us did to restore their lives, to rescue them. And so we have also escalated that to Abuja. Nobody is happy to be molested and vandalized. We are all human beings. First and foremost, we must do the right thing as the law prescribes us to do. And we want you to give us the opportunity to do the right thing. Don't take laws into your hand. So far, you have done the right thing by coming to us. We have heard you. I will go back and escalate to my national office, my national commissioners, and the chairman, and await their directives. Thank you very much for being very peaceful and law-abiding.
Thank you. The admin said, my name is Kimberly Okara. I'm the Secretary to the State Government of Bayelsa State. And I am here to signal the fact that as a state government, we are very concerned about all the issues that have been raised. We are glad that we came out to speak on behalf of INEC in the absence of the resident electoral commissioner who said it's unavoidably ill this time. We have heard you. There are many questions still that we have, and we can assure you that here you see represented people at various levels of governance in the state. Party chairman, and here central government, you have the Speaker of the House of Assembly here, commissioners, candidates at all levels who are here to signal and to seek that INEC, as the independent National Electoral Commission, does the right thing. You outline the guidelines which will guide everything. And we have told you clearly from all the various presentations, some before you came, that those guidelines were not followed. And that is why we came out en masse to make this protest. So we trust that, as you said, you will escalate the matters that have been raised so that they will be properly addressed so that we can resolve this matter. What we want, we must reiterate, is that for all those areas in southern Ijaw and in Nembe, particular wards, Nembe Basambri, the 7 wards there, covering constituency 2 and 3, and in Nembe, in southern Ijaw, constituency 4, wards 4, 12, 14, 16, 15 and 16, that those results be cancelled. We are ready to vote. We are confident that if given the chance, let us go and test our popularity. We are against what we see as a blatant rape of democracy. That is what we are against. And that is why you see us all here peacefully making our point. We don't want a blatant rape of democracy. The essence of what we are doing is to let every man, all this investment INEC has made, is allow each person go and vote, go and be verified, and then vote thereafter. In many communities that has happened, and the results have been accepted as they are. But in this case, it is unacceptable that some people should deem it fit to use the military to subvert the will of the people. That, as Democrats, we will not accept. Thank you very much.
Well, to just kickstart the process of doing it properly, I want the Secretary to Government, the party chairman, and the Speaker to follow me. Let's go to the office, and then we'll kickstart the process.
I will follow you too, member of the House of Reps.
No, I just need these 3 people to be with me so that we go and discuss. Let's go.
All right.